If you're not already sure why you should be using notes to capture your thoughts, your ideas or anything, you should watch my other video where I have talked about why it is important to capture your thoughts. If you're already aware of the importance of capturing your thoughts, I am here to tell you why Apple Notes could be the best choice for you if you already use iPhone. Now, you are watching this video only because you have got an Apple device. Most probably it is an iPhone and you want to use Apple to the best of its abilities to be more productive. So in this video, I will share 10 tips that you should be aware of about Apple Notes. Apple Notes is amazing because of the Apple ecosystem. If you have other Apple devices such as an Apple computer, MacBook Pro, iMac or any Mac computer, you can utilize this for syncing things. If you have saved something in one device, it will be available across all the devices. But even if you're using just one product, be it an iPhone or a Mac computer, then also you can utilize Apple Notes to be more productive. So first we'll start with organizing your notes. Apple has a lot of functionalities and one of them is the ability to create folders. Folders you are already aware of. You have seen this on your computers or everywhere. You have folders where you can keep your files. You can categorize your files using folders. For example, if you have school files, you can create a note and then you can put it in the particular folder. Same goes with Apple Notes as well. Initially, you might not use it, but I would still recommend that you create a folder about different things or different activities that you are trying to do. For example, if you have school notes, office notes, or personal notes, then you can categorize accordingly. You can create a folder called home, or you can create a folder like your school or a particular subject. And then whatever note you write, you can put that in that folder. Here is a tip for you. Once you are done with the notes, you have the option to delete the note. Apple has got this feature in the Notes app as well. You can delete a note. But what I would like you to do is create a folder called archives. Once you are done with that file, you can move that file into archive. For example, this is the review of MetaQuest, which I am working on for my video. Once I am done with it, I have the option to delete it, but I will move the note to the archived folder because you might want to visit it again. It has happened with me. And even if it is not the case that you don't need that file anymore, you still have the option to revisit it. And maybe after some time, 6 months or an year, you can always delete it because it does not take a lot of space. It's just text and it's just a few KBs. So you might not want to delete it right away. Keep it in archived because you have the option to organize all your notes into different folders. I have a lot of folders as you can see on my screen. I have the one for home renovation where I kept different notes for ideas that I wanted to do something in a particular room. The note can be rich as well. It doesn't have to be text. It can be a photograph of something or a screenshot of something you liked. You can take a screenshot, put it in notes and write about it or even write on it. You can also utilize the checks feature, which is very useful if you are working on something. For example, in this folder, I have a checklist of all the things. Once I am done with that particular thing, I will check it. So I have a visual confirmation of the things that are done and that needs to be done. A different use case is for contribution. Like the maintenance contribution of my building, I have named everyone and then whoever have contributed, I will check on them. So this gives me a visual confirmation who all have contributed and who are the people who have not contributed yet. So checklist is something really useful that you can use in Apple Notes. Again, like I said, it doesn't have to be all text. You can add an attachment, add an image or any file to your notes for reference purpose. For example, if you have got a file of something, there is no context and if you want to search for it, you might not find it because there is no context attached to it. It is not searchable. You can utilize attachments feature. If you want to add a little bit of context to a file in a particular note, you can write something about it or maybe extract the text of that file and paste it into the note. This way you will be able to search the content of that file, not just the name of that file. You can also add website links or YouTube video links or anything that you want to keep at one place so that you can visit it later. For customization, you not only have the option to add checklists, you can add many other things as well. You can even add a table and then add columns and rows to that table and fit data into it accordingly. I use it really extensively. For example, here is a note. I have this table and I can extend this table and add more information I want. It is a little cleaner, little better this way when you have a table. So it is easier for you to consume that information, to actually view that information. Visually, it is very nice. Apart from adding tables, you can also make changes to the fonts, add heading, subheading, or even title. You can bold, italic, underline, or strike through the fonts. Then there are bullet points, numbered bullet points, etc. So there's a lot of customization offered by Apple in Apple Notes for you to really make it your own. Now this collaboration feature was recently introduced in Apple Notes, and now you have the ability to share your notes with other people who use Apple Notes. If you have a friend who also uses Apple Notes on their iPhone, you can collaborate on something. If you are planning a trip, you can collaborate on that, and your planning will not be restricted to just a WhatsApp group. Maybe if you are doing some kind of research and collecting data from different places, you can put that in one note and you can share it with your colleague so that they can also contribute to that note. So this way you can use Apple Notes as a collaborating space as well, which is pretty cool. Let's take an example of this note. For example, I have to share this with someone else. I tap on the share button. Here it's saying send copy. I can tap on it and I can select collaborate. And now if I send it to a person who also has Apple Notes on their iPhone, it will open in their Apple Notes and they will be able to collaborate on this particular note. So it's pretty cool that you can share notes with anyone. You can even share the entire folder. Folders come in really handy in collaboration as well. Name a folder accordingly, according to the project, and put all the notes related to that project and then share that folder to your team. Another useful feature of Apple Notes is that you can also add tags to your notes, which is another way to organize your notes. Now, not every time you have a note that goes in a specific folder. It can be a generic folder, but you still want to organize them in some way. For example, I use Apple Notes for different things and I have got different folders as well. But sometimes I just create a note, but I still want some kind of organization. So if it is tech related, I will add a tag called tech. So every time I create a note that is related to tech, I will tag it as tech. Whenever I have to search for that particular thing, I can go through that particular tag and look for that note. So tags can be really useful. This works across different folders. So if you have notes in different folders, but they are related, there is a theme going on. For example, some notes in those folders are related to techs, electricals, or home shopping. You can use tags in different situations. Apple Notes also offers the drawing features, and this specifically works amazingly for iPad users because they have Apple Pencil support. They can create a note and write in their own handwriting or draw something, and it's really cool that you can do it. Unfortunately, you cannot do it on your iPhone, but you can still use your finger to draw something. My drawing is not great, but I will still try to tell you how this can be useful. You can get as creative as you want and with different things. You get the idea how you can utilize this feature in different use cases. Also, you can save something sensitive in Apple Notes, keep it behind a password so that nobody can access it apart from you. For example, if I have this app idea that I don't want anyone else to see, I will tap on these three dots on the right hand side and then I will click on lock. It will ask me to set a password. I can either use the passcode of my iPhone or create a separate password. If I have shared my password with someone else, I can create a separate password which is not accessible to them. So if it is really sensitive or confidential information, you can always lock a note with a password. Now the other really cool feature which I use extensively is the widgets feature. You can add widgets to your iPhone home screen. Now that you can add widgets to your iPhone home screens, you can also add a widget of Apple Notes on your iPhone home screen so that you can quickly access notes that you want to work on. For example, in this widget of notes, I have access to these three notes and I can simply tap on them and the note will open and I can quickly reference this. This can come really handy if you have got a script. For example, if I have got a script that I want to talk to in front of the camera, I can write the script on my computer, and since it's in Apple ecosystem, it gets synced to my iPhone and then I can quickly access it. So if I have to make a video about something, I can quickly take a look at what things I have to say. This is one of the use cases. There can be many other use cases as well. Now, the recent update also has brought this feature of allowing you to record your calls on your iPhone, and the call recordings is also auto-saved in a specific folder called call recordings, where you also get the transcription. Not only you get the audio of the call recording, you also get the transcription. So if you're not in a mood to listen to that, or if you want to go to a particular section of your call recording, you can scroll through the text and then go to that particular thing, and you will be able to play the recording as well. So it's a really nice feature, really neat feature. And apart from this, you also have got quick notes on your iPhone. Earlier, this was only available on Apple computers, MacBook Pro and iMacs, and now it is available on iPhone. You can add this in the control center. swipe down from right hand side, you will go to the control center, long press, and you can add a control. You can tap on it and then select add notes from here. I've already selected it, so it doesn't matter on which screen you are, you can always open a quick note. To access the quick notes, swipe down from the top right hand side, go to the control center and tap on the quick note icon. The quick note will open and you will be able to write something. And once you save, this will be moved down and you will come back to the screen you were originally. So it is really useful in noting down something without actually leaving the app you are in. So these were some tips that I wanted to share with you all to enhance your Apple Notes experience and utilize it in a much efficient manner. These tips are enough to get you started with Apple Notes. But if you want to be much more efficient, I would suggest that you watch my other video where I have shared advanced tips of using Apple Notes. These are the tips that not everyone is using, but the ones who are using are killing it. So I would strongly recommend that you watch this video as well.